Thanks for downloading another episode of The Ugly Truth. Or if it's your first time, welcome. You are now an honorary Ugg, or Hug as we like to say. We really appreciate you listening and supporting the show through our Amazon and Avon links at uglytruth.com. And now, without further ado, The Ugly Truth. It's another uncensored look at the world around you from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie.
I mentally prepare for my doom and my death regularly.
Stephanie.
I paid you $400 a month to insult me.
Uncensored as always, it's time for The Ugly Truth.
Welcome to The Ugly Truth. It is episode legit 226. Ugh. God, she's like, you're just like you're like an early pre-ejaculator.
Oh.
Can't even get the words out before you're like, ah! Like, God damn.
Well,
that was a short show.
I'm having throat issues today.
I know.
It took a lot of effort to get that out.
Well, welcome to The Ugly Truth, everyone. Paula is in Disneyland, shockingly. She's been only planning this for 2 years, so she's finally made her way to Anaheim. So Stephanie, my twin, toxic twin as I call her, is here to sit in, finally. It's been way too long, Ugh.
You're my touch-tone, Emma.
Touchstone, yes.
Oh, yeah.
You're that too. You're touch-tone as well. Beep, 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 beep.
You said.
No, touchstone.
Touchstone.
Yes.
I don't even know what that is.
I was just going to say, I don't even know what that means either.
In the movie.
Me too.
Did anybody get that when we were messaging the other day and I said that?
What, that you were a touchstone?
It's like looking in the mirror.
Oh, totally. Aurora Greenway. It's like looking at the newborn baby. That's
right.
Beautiful. I know.
I didn't know if anybody else knew.
I knew.
When I said that.
I knew exactly. And I started laughing.
I was laughing a lot. I thought it was so funny.
Yes.
I was like, I don't think they got it. Oh well.
I got it.
What else is new?
What was I going to put? I didn't know what to put.
I just...
Mom. I don't know.
Well, you know how it is when we're quoting movies?
Yes.
We never go to the movie quotes that everybody goes to.
No, we always go to
obscure.
They're very obscure. It's true.
Yeah, you really have to know the movie.
It is.
We do.
It's true. It's true. All right. So welcome to The Ugly Truth. Welcome, Stephanie. So this has been a very stressful, panic-inducing week for you, for our family actually, and for you too specifically, because we have far too many relatives in Florida.
Yes.
And there was no part of Florida that was not affected by Hurricane Irma.
Irma, what a name.
I hate that name.
No, if I ever knew somebody named Irma, I would kind of feel like, your name is Irma, really?
Why did you get named that?
Listener and your name's Irma, but seriously, it's one of those names where we are judging you when
Roy.
Twin.
Oh, twin. Exactly. When the hurricane was announced, I was like, you know, our mom went to visit our aunt in Florida. I'm curious if she's still there because she left maybe the third week of August to go down.
She's been there for a minute. And this was a long visit.
What was really, well, they're always long visits.
Well, right, but they're getting longer.
They seem to be, interestingly. She's always escaping some kind of thing that's going on here.
It's so cray-cray because they seem like they're newlyweds. Maybe it's because she leaves for
I think it's because she leaves every 4 months. Right. And I made note of that to her. I said, you know, I've noticed that there's Florida mom and then there's Sacramento mom.
Right.
And she said, what do you mean? I go, well, when you're in Florida, you're healthy, you're vibrant, you're taking selfies, you're going to the beach. I mean, you went to the Hard Rock Cafe. I mean,
she did that for my daughter's sake, but yes.
Yes, I go, that is Florida mom. And then there's Sacramento mom, Bible thumper, sick of relatives. I don't hear from you for 3 months. That's different, Mom. That's Sacramento, Mom. So
you know what's funny about Mom, though?
I want her to go to Florida forever.
When I went to her house last, which was probably a week before she left this last visit, I realized how similar we all are. And I mean, her house is like her little cave. Yeah. And she feels totally safe and content there. She knows where all the stores are within a 5-minute radius, and anything she might need, she can be there and back. And then she's back to being like, I'm peaceful, I'm safe here, I'm good. And that's how I am. Yeah. Except for my house isn't as clean as hers. But
well, she doesn't have anything anymore. Her dogs are even dead. She has nothing to bother her. I told her to get a dog immediately. I said, you have to stop with this nonsense. Well, we want to travel. I'm like, where are you going that you can't get a dog?
Oh, you know what she told me? Why they didn't get a dog?
What?
Well, because they might die. They're old. Mom and
Our
Paula,
mother?
Yeah, Mom and Paula are so old. You know, we have to really think about the fact that we would have this animal that could outlive us, and then what? I'm like, Mom, you're like 67.
She's going to be 70 someday. It's like she's not even... You know what, though? You can't get it out of her. I mean, she's been preparing for death for like 40 years.
She's like 30.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to die one day. We're like, yeah, one day. We're in high school. One day,
yes.
I know that's where I get it.
Well, that's where I get it.
I know that's where I get my morbidity.
Therapy people back in the day when I was really young and mom was trying to like figure me out.
Yes.
They would say, I thought it was a fact of life. I'm like, well, I'll be dead by the time I'm 30. They're like, why is that? I'm like, I don't know. I just always knew that I would die young.
You would die young.
Die of violent death. And they're like, that's really not normal. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I know. I mentally prepare for my doom and my death regularly. Yeah. Like right now. Okay, so the anxiety's through the roof. Your daughter lives in Lithia, which is an outskirt of Tampa Bay, and they got hit real hard. Jacksonville got hit really hard, and the whole negotiation process was trying to get our family to leave Florida. Yeah. Now, I started texting mom on that Monday, and then Tuesday she called me, and I said, so you're home, right? She goes, oh no, I'm stuck here. We're doing preparations. And I said, it's Tuesday. Go to Georgia. Just get out. Drive north. We'll get you a hotel, wherever you want to go. We'll pay for it. Just go. And she's like, well, we don't even know. It might change. It might shift. And I said, these are the kinds of things that you will regret. I promise. No, I think we'll be all right. I'm in touch with everyone and la, la, la. And your daughter was very blasé as well.
She was.
For a long time.
The hour before they left.
And then in the 9th hour, mom's like, well, I can't find anything. I was looking. I'm like, what? She's like, I've been looking for 2 hours. I can't find a hotel. I'm like, that's it. Stephanie.
Yes.
We're finding it. That was the day before the freaking hurricane was going to hit. And there was a 9-hour gridlock and everything west of the Mississippi. I'm trying to think of directions. Northwest of the Mississippi was sold out. I told you that I was even looking at the Ritz. I'm like, I will pay $1,000 a night, if not more, to get you away from Florida.
People were going to the nice hotels, and it was the junk that was left.
I couldn't find even the junk.
Lauren, and I told you, when they finally did agree to leave and they got to Alabama, which she says was a hovel,
yes.
And I wasn't surprised, she pulled into a Red Roof Inn.
Oh, dear.
And her father isn't as much of a snob as I am, shockingly, even though he's a multimillionaire. Well, he is a snob, but he's different.
Yeah.
And
he'll deal with it?
He said no. He said, absolutely not. So I know it was a dump. Because Joel, he would roll up his sleeves in certain situations where I'm like, oh, hell no. But
no, listen, I knew you guys when you were young. I know exactly what you were willing to put up with.
Right.
Yes. We all know. We've all been there.
He wouldn't do it, even though he's rich now and everything he has is nice and beautiful. I still don't, no, he wasn't going to let her stay there. So they moved on, and they did end up finding a 5-star hotel. And where did I tell you they stayed?
They were in Alabama. Montgomery,
yes. Yes. So he didn't get out of there fast enough. The minute the storm was even downgraded to a tropical depression, he's like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, I was actually not surprised. I fully expected them to turn tail and go back the second they were.
One more day.
Well, I was mostly thinking about there's no electricity or power to anything, and a lot of people don't have power yet.
She did say they lost power because all the clocks were blinking, but she doesn't know for how long.
Well, you just check your food. That'll tell you.
Yeah, well, everything was fine. I mean, they were only gone literally not even 48 hours.
The thing is, and the thing that I tried to argue with our mother specifically, who did not leave, and although she did not endure a direct hit like the coastal sides did, she was in the central part of Florida, and they actually had tornadoes.
Right.
And they did lose power, and they did lose their television, and so they did get to use the emergency crank radio.
Oh, yeah, my mom must have been so happy.
She was thrilled that she got to use her emergency supplies. And the streets are a mess, but no flooding, no nothing. Right. So our family, we're very, very lucky that we did not have any significant problems. And I'm so glad. And I've seen... Now, you and I watch Snapchat. Did you not Snapchat forever for hours?
Why didn't you show me that? I couldn't stop.
I was watching everything.
It was so awesome.
Because, Snapchat has that thing where you can zoom out and then you can literally, search.
World Snap or something. Yeah. I can't remember what they call it.
You can literally search any city you want. It will take you right there, and then you can look at all the snaps. And so I'm looking at Lithia, and I'm looking where Mom was, and I'm looking at all the Miami and all the Florida Keys and all that stuff, and I'm seeing the significant water and rain. I'm thinking, why are there people there? This was filmed 15 minutes ago. Right. They need to flee, but they're stuck. Now they're stuck.
Well, they did get stuck at some point. Yeah. And then I started looking. I forgot that it was New York Fashion Week.
Oh, I love it.
So I started going north into and was reading all those snaps. And I know you're going to get to that eventually, but Miss America?
Yes.
Well, they
all snapped?
They were all snapping on their way to Miss America pageant. It was in Atlantic City.
Oh, of course it was. So I didn't even think about that.
I ran into them on my way of scouring everything.
Well,
snaps.
all I know is that the World Snap I have gone through, I have looked at stuff in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Not a lot of women. Not a lot of women who are snapping in the Middle East. But it was so interesting.
I was so obsessed with Iran and mainly Iran.
Why?
Because I watched
Shah's.
That too.
I haven't watched
it, but not without my daughter with Sally Field. That was on.
That movie is so distressing.
And I've seen it before.
I have too.
I watched it again and I hadn't seen it.
It's distressing.
It was, and then I was like, you know what? Now that I'm old and I realized how movies are, I have to read the actual book because I'd love to hear the real,
Yeah.
And so I bought it and I read it. I literally read it in 2 days. I read it.
Was it harrowing?
It was so much better than
the movie.
It just gives you all these details that you don't.
Of course.
That sometimes they allude to or they have little glimpses of in the movie, but it doesn't really give you.
Yeah.
So after I read it, I was just like, oh my god, it's so hard for me to imagine how it would be to have that be your life.
I don't know. It'd be really scary.
But the thing is these people that live there, they don't think it's bad, and they hate us that we look down on them. I don't look down on them.
No.
I just, I almost pity them.
Well, what's interesting, if you ever get the opportunity, and that's what the internet is great for, is you can look back at what it was like there in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
It was very westernized. It was not, nobody was wearing the head coverings or the long robe. They were wearing fashion.
Really?
Gorgeous. They'd go to the beach in bikinis and they had full makeup and big beautiful hair, and the men were really dressed lovely, and it was a really cool place. It's just that it changed when the religious...
Well, the Not Without My Daughter era was when they did this revolution where they had overthrown the government at that point, and they went straight Islam, I guess.
And that's when the religious leaders became the government, that's when everything changed. But before that, they were like us. And so I think there is a generation there who probably, maybe an older generation who wasn't into the progression, don't care, but there's I think there's probably a large majority who just stay quiet because they don't want to die or go to jail or whatever happens. Right. So Snap World is amazing.
Fantastic. I love it, and I'm not done with that. I just had to stop doing it because I was doing it for 2 days.
Well, I kept draining my phone. I kept draining it, going, okay, I have to stop watching. I hate it.
Well, I stay plugged in the whole time.
I did too.
I'll never stop. Plus, I have Jeff's tablet.
Yes, the problem with this is that my gut told me that everybody was going to be fine. Yeah. Like, I really didn't believe that anybody was necessarily going to die or we were going to lose anyone. But I did have some fairly significant concerns about our mom specifically, because Lauren's young, she's with her dad, and I was a little more confident. I was super relieved that they actually left, because what I was telling Mom, I said, look, we're so sick with worry. I don't care if it's a waste of your time. So the only thing you waste is time if you leave, right? That's the only thing you're wasting.
And some frustration. I mean, I get that it was probably daunting to think about sitting in traffic for that many hours.
I completely get it.
And it wasn't as bad. I mean, they did sit in traffic, but for I want to say they were on the road 12 hours the first day. Mm-hmm. The second day was about 10.
That's a lot.
So it was a long time, but most of the time they were moving at highway speed.
Yeah,
it was literally only like an hour or two of each time where they were sitting. And they were moving like 20, 30 miles an hour.
That's not that bad.
Which I can deal with that. I can't handle sitting.
I couldn't handle the gridlock for hours and hours and hours.
On the freeway, not going anywhere.
Yeah, that would be very frustrating, which I'm sure did happen.
That happens in LA. Oh, I hate it. It's so annoying.
It's so true. So the problem is that with our family, specifically, and maybe not our mom, but me, you, and Paula, and maybe even Allison, the anxiety that we have naturally goes into overdrive. And so
I felt like a Chihuahua or a Pomeranian or something. I'm like,
I did. I was over the top anxious, and I mean, I started feeling faint. My guts are on fire right now. I'm going to go to the doctor because I'm sure that something's bad happening.
Well, you might feel better if they tell you nothing's wrong.
I think I am going to go, and they'll go, oh, your colon's inflamed. But what does that mean? It's like, it means that you're under stress and you need to take a muscle relaxer.
Yeah, well, you might get out of the deal. It's definitely worth going to.
If I can get some drugs out of it, it may be worth it.
And Valium, why does no one give you Valium? Like, what is the deal with that?
My dentist gives me Valium.
And that's it.
I know.
I can go to my PCP and they'll give me, we can give you this. Nobody ever says Valium. Like, why not?
Yeah, what's wrong? It's the best. It's not.
You'll love it too much. So
I love Valium. Actually, the last time I had to get a root canal, and I told Dr. Riak, because I am literally the most high maintenance patient he has, literally the worst. I walk in, he's like, well, hello, Jamie. It's been a while. Where have you been? Did we do something to offend you? And I'm like, no, I'm terrified of the dentist. You know this. He's like, I know, but everything's going to be fine. I'm like, all right. So, and I trust him completely. You should.
Because I've not been. I'm not even going to say
It's been almost 2 years for me. I have to go back.
Enough for me.
Well, I had to have a root canal. That forced me to go.
Right, that's the last time I went. And I still have the freaking open tooth.
Oh, no. You didn't get the permanent crown?
No, I didn't, because I had to go back. And I was like, I'm not
going
back.
Stephanie.
The pain is gone.
Well, that is true. That is true. So I went in, and so he's like, okay, yeah, well, we'll do this. Yes, you need a root canal, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right. I go, listen. So here's the thing. I don't really like nitrous oxide. And he goes, really? And I go, I would really rather not. I feel like I can't breathe. And and I start like breathing hard. And he goes, are you all right? And I'm like, I'm fine. I mean, it's not good. Right. And I said, so, I was just wondering, perhaps.
So you take the Valium and then you don't do nitrous?
Yeah.
See, I did both.
No, I can't do the nitrous. I hate the feeling. I feel like my nasal passages are like, I can breathe everything. I hate that feeling.
I feel like it kind of makes me feel like right before you're going to pass out, where I'm just like,
I hate it.
And then you're like, oh.
I just don't like it.
I don't like that feeling either.
I hate it. So, and he'll go, oh, we need a little more oxygen. I'm like, perhaps. I'm not, maybe less nitrous, more oxygen. So I said, can we maybe just bypass all of that and just maybe you could just give me like a pill? Or I said, or I can just take one of my own and come in. He's like, okay, we don't play that game here. You can't take your own drugs and come in. And I said, okay, well, what do you suggest? He goes, we'll give you something. And I said, okay, cool. Hey Hugs, have you checked out the Ugly Truth Avon site lately? Avon has introduced a new beauty box. It's the A box. It's not a subscription program, so you get to decide how often you want to buy them. It shows you what will be in the box every month, so if you want to get it, great. If you want to pass, no big deal, no money lost. It's a great way to try Avon products that maybe you haven't considered yet. And it's only $10 with the $40 purchase, so that is a fabulous deal. As always, thank you so much for supporting the Ugly Truth. Bye! So let's move on to Miss America because
I didn't watch it, by the way, but I know.
I started watching when they were at the top 12.
Oh, okay.
And the way they do it now is they basically segue to the next portion of the event, talent or whatever, and they just announce who's next, and whoever doesn't get called is eliminated.
Oh.
It's so cruel. It's so cruel because what I saw, there's 12 contestants, 10 will be called to do their talent, so they're all sitting on this bench.
Sort of like Miss Delaware.
Yes. And then what sucks is
they have to do it right then?
Yeah, then they get up and go to the middle of the stage. And so can you imagine if you're in some kind of get up to do a baton twirling thing and you don't get called? Or if you have birds or something.
You have tap shoes on.
Yeah, and you're like, well, I guess I just will shuffle on out of here. It's like they didn't get it. And of course,
that's funny.
There were some people that I just could not understand why. But
what, the talent part?
The field this year was not good.
I didn't like it last year either.
It's just like the poor man's Miss America.
Well, because they've gotten so political. Everything, the NFL, anything that ever was fun that didn't have to have any kind of political connotation to it is now turned into a thing.
I just wish we couldn't.
You have to be smart, and you have to be well-rounded, and you have to be world-traveled, and
Well, I was the girl that won. The girl that won was one of the pretty ones for sure.
Because last year wasn't.
It was North Dakota.
Yeah, and that was the record for them. They've never won.
Never.
So that's great.
It was funny. She goes, well, only 3 of us have ever been to the top 10, so my bucket list has been filled. That's what she said. Because that was her foofy question, because they had to have 2 questions. First of all, these women are trained to be as neutral as possible. Right. So nobody said anything frighteningly bad. But anyway, she did a really good one. They said, well, give us one thing on your bucket list. She goes, making the top 10. I mean, she's super low key. And she's like, making the top 10. I mean, there's only been 3 of us. And so done. Thanks for asking. North Dakota, woo!
That's kind of funny.
She won.
That's cute.
She should have won. She was
pretty?
She's very pretty, and she was a good dancer. Now the talent portion, it's really hard to watch women in their 20s do things that they shouldn't that they don't necessarily do. Wow. For example, Miss Louisiana, who completely sealed her fate when she came out with 2 puppets. that wasn't...
No one warned her, like, this isn't the best.
Then they showed a little video, like a little video below.
What she does outside of Miss America.
She was a child with puppets. Like, she's been doing this her whole life. So this is her talent. She's been grooming for this moment her whole childhood.
And this is what I'll do, puppets.
And Miss Louisiana, and the thing is that the southern states tend to do very, very well in these pageants because they live it.
Right.
So she goes out there with these two giant Raggedy Ann and Andy puppets, and she's talking and doing the thing and singing, and I'm watching this, and I'm absolutely shocked.
Like, are we watching KVIE?
I'm speechless, and then she starts to yodel.
That's funny. I was almost about to say, like, I don't think it could get any worse.
Oh, yes.
She started to yodel or something.
She started to yodel, yes. And so... America Ferrera is probably going, Tara Lipinski, it was one of the judges. She was a judge. She had the biggest, she could not hide her dislike for people.
And at all. Some stuff too, because those ice skaters have done some weird things.
Oh yeah. So some of them will come out, like Miss New Jersey literally looked like she was making up. She started shuffling in her dance, and I went, oh, she's making some shit up right now, because this is not legit. And then they pan to Tara Lipinski's face, which is completely deadpan. I think it's funny because these women are like in their these are in their mid to late 20s. No, they're older. They're not babies. They're
Miss USA, which is...
We watched Miss...
This was Miss America.
This was Miss America. Miss USA is different. It's a different... I mean, they're really... Are they different?
I don't know if they're different. I'm thinking one is probably considered more prestigious.
I don't think it's the one we watched.
I think it's USA.
I think it's USA.
Because this one I didn't even know it was on, and not that I pay attention to.
But we love to judge.
But I do love
They're
to judge.
Favorite.
And I would have watched it if I would have known it was on. I just didn't.
Paula's contribution was she posted she was watching. She goes, I don't like any of them. I will say this: do you watch Project Runway at all?
No.
Okay.
I have, but I have not watched it in a very long time.
I'm watching it this season because I'm DVRing it so I can fast forward through all of the crying in the workshop, because I can't stand it. I can't stand the people crying.
I don't know, like whiny little baby stuff. Yeah.
I like the beginning when he's...
I do remember liking that show.
Well, I mean, I love Tim Gunn and Heidi.
I know that. I don't know.
Because we used to watch it all the time.
And I love Tim Gunn too, because he's on other stuff. Like he's
great.
Yeah, he's hosted other stuff. Yeah. He's been on other stuff.
He's just really cool. And so I love watching the beginning when they get the theme and what they have to do, and I like seeing them go to Mood, the fabric store, and then they do all their thing, and then there's a bunch of chaos and anger and betrayal and upsetness with each other, and because they're tired or whatever. Right. So I fast forward through all that shit because I don't care about whiny adults.
Well, that's part of the reality part of it.
Yeah, exactly. And this one, I was telling Paula, and listeners know this if they've been listening, there's a pair of twins on this year. Mm-hmm. And they have the Hathaway thing going down.
They look like
they're so unlikable. No, they are overly dramatic.
Oh.
They are unlikable, and no one likes them. The judges don't even like them. Like, they're just...
Well, then they're perfect.
They are yes. One has super long brown hair, and the other one is bald.
Oh, so is it a guy?
No.
Girls?
They're two girls.
Why is she bald?
I assume it's to differentiate herself from her sister. They're horrible. They are horrible. Nina Garcia cannot hide her distaste for these people. She just can't wait for them to be bad enough to get rid of them.
Well, do they suck or are they good?
They do the same thing over and over again. So ultimately what's going to happen is one's going to go, and I'm hoping the other one just kind of loses her life, loses the will to live and dies next, There's no team.
Yeah,
they're separate.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, but there's a dude from San Francisco. He's 24, and he is legitimately talented. He's gonna win. If he doesn't, I would be absolutely shocked. Well, what are you watching then? Do you watch reality TV? Is that what you watch? Because I do.
Well, I am addicted to it. There's no other really reality shows that are on right now that I'm in love with, and I get bored really easy with what's on TV.
Sure.
So I finally started DVRing. Don't ask me why I did this, but I started DVRing.
Little People, Small World?
No. They're doing this marathon of the Kardashians.
Oh.
Not Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Okay.
But Kardashians in general. They're like, we're celebrating, 10 years of them being on the show.
Oh my God,
TV.
10 years they've been in our lives?
Yes.
Wow.
So they're playing reruns of Kim and Kourtney Take New York.
Oh, okay.
Khloe and Kourtney Take Miami.
Okay, I kind of liked the Kourtney and Khloe Miami one.
Right.
That was my fave because Kourtney was just crazy.
Well, they were just so much
They were
different.
just,
and they were so much younger, and they didn't have the money they have now. Everything was different.
Everything was better.
They were normal.
Yeah.
They were almost normal. They were still rich, but I mean, they weren't like they are now.
Do you like Chloe thinner? I mean, she's really pretty, but she just looks like she just sold out to LA. I wish she would have just enjoyed her curvy ass. She was so beautiful.
Yeah, she is beautiful.
She's beautiful no matter what, actually.
No, definitely. Yeah, well, they all are.
Yeah.
I mean, no one can deny that they're beautiful women.
Although I was listening to a podcast the other day, he's a comedian, and he said he had a female comedian on, and she said, she's like, everybody wants to look like the Kardashians. He goes, oh, people are still doing that? And she lives in LA. She goes, oh yeah. He goes, I find it so interesting that everybody wants to look like the Kardashians. They look Muslim. And I said, they do.
Muslim?
Yes, they have super dark features, long brown hair. Well, not right now, but
Muslim's a religion, right?
No, it is. Okay, Islam. Well, he meant. Well, they can look Muslim.
Well, I suppose, but I don't know.
That's what he said.
Okay, well, maybe
I think what he's saying is they look. No. I think Muslim isn't a religion, but what I'm saying is that he thought they looked like Middle Eastern,
right?
And he found it.
Armenian.
Well, what's funny though is he found that hilarious that in this country people are actually trying to look Middle Eastern. And maybe not as much as they used to, but in their heyday when everybody wanted to look like a Kardashian, and she said, oh no, they're still here. They're everywhere.
Well, I have to say that at my work, because I work with a really diverse group of people, and there's 500 employees in the same building that I work at.
At least one of them looks like a Kardashian.
Oh no, more than that. And it's the same genre of people. Like it's the girls in their late 20s. They're still young, but they're not 21 anymore.
They're buying all of the stuff.
No, they work out specifically so they have that tiny, tiny waist.
And a big ass.
And that huge fucking ass.
Yes.
And those kind of stocky legs.
Yes.
It's just
Isn't that weird?
It's the shape of the body.
Yes.
And I mean, every time I see a girl like that, I'm like, it's the same damn thing. Every time they're always in their late 20s. It's that same era.
Because they're watching that social media. That's what they're watching.
I guess, or that's what men their age are into. Ass and boobs and tiny waist.
I don't think that's ever changed.
I mean, it's not a bad thing. Well, I don't really remember when I was in my 20s, guys wanting us to have a big giant ass. Being tiny was cool. Being skinny.
Well, I think it changes. I think the trend changes. Like when I was in high school, the most popular girls were tall, thin, and blonde.
Yeah.
Those were the most popular girls. Period. End of discussion.
Yeah.
And then, see, the problem is that I never had a problem getting laid in my 20s.
Me neither.
Like never. So it didn't really matter what the trend was. I never had a problem.
Well, I don't think any girls really have a problem getting laid.
But if there's a general idea, I think when I was in my 20s, grunge was big.
True.
And everybody was natural, no makeup, plaid shirts.
I never did that, neither did you.
Hell no. God. Can you even imagine?
No. Even though I was being rebellious,
I think I had a plaid shirt, but I always wore lipstick or something. I mean, like, I never didn't have mascara or something on or wore a bra.
No, we always looked girly.
No, well, we were more rock and roll. I mean, although I loved grunge. I love the grunge sound, but I never, absorbed the style. Never. I was always just jeans and a black t-shirt. That's all I ever wore. That's what I felt the most comfortable in. And I always had cowboy boots. But that was just my thing. Yes, you did.
Oh, yeah, I did, huh?
Yes, you did.
Joel went to Texas one time for a business trip and came back with red boots.
Yes.
Were they red?
Yeah.
Yeah. They were Justin's. They were nice.
Did you wear them? Oh, yeah, you did.
I'm pretty sure I wore them. Yeah.
You did. You wore them. I remember.
You can only pull those off when you're 19. I'm pretty sure that's how old I was.
I think you wore them with red Guess jeans, if I recall fondly.
Oh, right. I was actually quite fashionable back in the day, in a weird way.
That's what was in style then. Although I look back at photos when we were younger in our 18 to 20s, and I look at them and go, why weren't eyebrows a thing back then? Like, why didn't we do anything with our eyebrows?
I don't know, because my old friend TJ, didn't see what she said. She's like, I posted this picture of us, and it's a really cute picture. We were like 16, 17.
Yes.
But we both had massive eyebrows, and she's like, what the hell? You let me walk around like that back then?
No one even cared. Who knew that eyebrows would be a thing now? I mean, when our parents were young, I think eyebrows were a thing.
Yeah.
They were perfectly coiffed everywhere.
True.
But now it's going back to it. Totally going back to it.
I don't know if it's a cultural thing or not, but there's this girl at my work, and I just think she's the funniest thing. She's nice, and we were talking about how our atmosphere and environment has changed at work a little bit. When we first started working there, it was much smaller.
Yes.
There was less people. Everybody was friendly. We all knew each other. Now it's so big that you walk around the halls, you don't know really.
Hello!
Yeah, every once in a while you'll see someone you know, like, hey, how's it going? Oh my God, I haven't seen you forever. But most of the time it's like, you're just giving someone the nod or the smile because you don't know them.
You're like, have no idea who you are. Can't wait to eat your birthday cake next month. Woo!
No, we don't even do that because our units are huge.
You don't even have monthly birthday cakes?
Within our unit.
Oh.
So there's 8 people in my unit.
So you guys will do it.
But we don't know anybody else.
I gotcha.
In this world that we work at.
Sure.
And we were saying how recently I'm like, what is with the, everybody's just got resting bitch face. Like, everyone's just an asshole. Yes. You can say good morning and have a smile on your face and somebody will, like, not even acknowledge.
They'll be like,
keep walking.
You don't exist.
I'm like, that's so fucking rude. That's what I want to say as they're walking away.
Yeah, you should. Oh, though you'd get in trouble. Yeah.
We were talking about
would trigger someone.
You workplace violence for sure.
Oh my God.
So she was like, I know, right? We were standing outside. She's like, I know, I just don't get it. It's so different. I'm like, I'm getting used to it, but I don't like it. She's like, somebody did that to me the other day, and I was like, do I not have my eyebrows drawn on? And I didn't know what that meant. I'm like, I didn't want to stare at her eyebrows, but I'm like, you draw your eyebrows on?
Probably. Like, I draw mine. Can you tell? Can you totally tell? Does it look fake? No. Do I look faux? Okay. Because when I don't have eyebrows on, I look like an alien. You know those scary pictures where they show celebrities without eyebrows and they go, look what they would look like without eyebrows, and they like Photoshop them off?
We have eyebrows.
We do, but mine are so light and they're not pretty.
I didn't know you wanted to draw attention to eyebrows. I didn't realize that was
It frames your face.
Oh, okay.
It frames your face. Like, I'm doing the cat eye now. Do you see on my eyeliner? Because apparently it's, I'm just trying to stay with the times.
Oh, well, I'm glad. Please.
Before I have to get Botox. Just whatever.
I'm going to do it.
Neil, our hairdresser.
I don't know why I frown all the time, but I do.
Gee, I don't know. Because of our mother, perhaps, and our terrible children.
I don't know. Our children aren't terrible, but
they cause us a lot of grief.
That's true. No, I just don't realize. I noticed that I have this crease, and I had a client tell me that. She's like, you're just like me. You just scowl all the time. I'm like,
what a nice thing to say.
She's like, go to the Kaiser Cosmetic Clinic. She's like, for $300, you can get anything you want. She's like, I'm telling you, it is a steal. She's like, if you go to like a regular, she's like, it's twice that. And I'm like,
$600?
She's saying it's expensive. And she said she was getting, I can't remember if it was Botox or what's the other one?
Restylane.
Yeah, she was getting some kind of fillers.
Get Restylane to get rid of the resting bitch face.
Right.
Whatever. I would do Botox.
I do face.
I said that the other day too. I said, I've got these lines right here. And of course, Neil, who has no problem just being honest.
For real?
Oh God. He goes, oh, you mean your Marionette lines?
You asshole.
And I was like,
well, can you say something bad to
him? And I go, what flaw would you like to find? He's perfect.
Neil.
And I was like, I have Marionette lines? I'm like, what do you mean?
I paid you $400 a month to insult me? God.
In fact, one time I was so overwhelmed with anxiety because he said that. I go, I'm walking around looking like a puppet, like a ventriloquist doll. So finally he goes,
were you saying that to him?
Yes, and finally he goes, Alex, could you get Dr. Laura's information for Jamie so she can talk to someone about this?
A meltdown.
So he gave me his.
Doesn't he know? Doesn't he understand why you pay him that much money? Because you're vain as fuck.
I don't know. Well, that's why.
And he is too.
Oh, please! Are you kidding? His dermatologist comes to the shop and does his injections for him in the store.
Fillers now?
He has for years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Years.
I didn't know. He looks amazing. So.
Of course he does. He's an amazing human. But anyway,
amazing human, but he always looks flawless, and it really makes me sick.
He's so funny. I just love the way he words things. I'm like, Greg, his coworker,
I know.
had.
I'm trying to make an appointment with Greg.
You should totally do it.
Because I don't want to. I can't imagine going into that salon and not having needles in my hair.
It wouldn't. He would be so happy just to see you.
I don't even care about what he cares. It would kill me to sit there and have Greg doing my hair. Even though I love Greg.
Well, what was funny is Malia went in. Well, you know what? Until he charges you, and you'll be like, I think I can live with Greg.
That's the thing. That's why I haven't gone.
Yes. No, because Greg is super reasonable,
and it's still not. It's not like he's cheap.
No, it's not. But it's not. You're not walking out crying,
right?
Like I have before.
God, I've cried. I'm worried. I
told Alex
I had to give him a credit card and a check before because I'm like, wait, you can't take this all out of one.
I told Alex once. She goes, oh, so we're going to do the highlights this time. I do them one a year, and I said, yes, we're going to do highlights. And she goes, what's the matter? I'm like, I always leave crying. And she's like, why? And I said, because it's really expensive.
It's so expensive.
But the problem is I'm the only one that has a problem with it. No one else does.
Well,
Daryl doesn't.
It's kind of like, it's hard to spend a lot of money on yourself.
It is. I really struggle. I struggle with it for sure.
Depends on what it is. I guess there's something about looking better when you walk out, but at the same time you don't have anything in your hand.
Yeah, I can't hold anything, so I'll buy product.
So when I
I buy product.
Do you?
Yeah.
I used to buy product from him too, and then I'm like, you know what? I feel like you're just upselling me, and I'm already like, my butt is hurting so bad.
You know,
I can't even squeeze out another $30.
Some of the things that that I love that he uses on me, I buy on Amazon through our Ugly Truth website. It's the same price,
right?
So I don't feel like he's upselling.
He doesn't.
Yeah, I think he's basically selling you retail, and that's it.
Or he might make a little bit off of it, but
it's basically the same price. So
because I did do that one time, I was like, you know what? Let me just check, and he was right.
Yes, yeah,
it's buying, so it was way more convenient. Just
it is. But the one thing that I do want to buy myself is I want to buy a stun gun.
Who are you going to stun?
I don't know.
Carol?
I don't know. No, of course not.
Who's going to attack you? And where? You go nowhere.
Are you telling me that I shouldn't buy one?
Well, I'm just saying,
I'm a little concerned.
You're a jogger on the bike trail.
No, I know, but
not like you're...
I'm a little concerned that I'll stun myself. I'm a little worried.
That's a valid concern.
I know, because I'm not necessarily the most graceful human, and I might put it in my awkward human.
Stumbly is what I was trying to.
I am stumbly.
Or what's the other? No, that's
clumsy.
Clumsy.
Yes, or stumbly, whatever. What are you, Winnie the Pooh?
I told you I started my period today.
Yeah.
My mind is not right on those days.
Seriously.
Mm-hmm. Like, it just is this thing. Like,
I knew that I was hormonal yesterday. Was it yesterday? Wait, what was I watching and it made me cry? And it was like the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, me watching Kim and Courtney take New York this morning. I was getting teary-eyed. I'm like, I'm turning this shit off. What the fuck? Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a stun gun, but you're right. I don't really go anywhere. What, at Target?
No, seriously, what made you think you wanted it?
You know what? I don't remember. I just remember there have been times where I feel unsafe, and I just think the idea of having it...
That was following you in Target?
That I would have stunned down that guy.
Yeah.
I would have done it.
He didn't get that close to you, though.
Yes, he did.
Oh, he did?
Oh, yeah. He was right up on me. And I'm all, what? He's all, and he had his hand in his pocket and started fondling himself. So I ran to the front. I literally abandoned everything, ran to the front. And the thing with Target is that they're all like 17, 18-year-olds working there. It's not like they're going to do anything to you, or help you. So I said, there's a gentleman who's following me. He's right over there. And they're like, and I go, and you'll notice he has nothing with him. He's literally just wandering around the store. And he walked right by where I was checking out and looked at us both and then just walked out. And I'm like, you've got to be. And so I'm like, now I've got to go out. And so they have some guy escort me out. He's like 20, maybe
did you see him?
118 pounds. No, he was gone, long gone.
Good.
But you never know. So I was freaked out the whole way home. I'm like, do I even go home? Like I was afraid to even go home.
To see if anyone was following you?
Yes, yeah. I absolutely was.
I'm so good at that.
Yes, that's the thing, is I'm pretty intuitive when it comes to that stuff. So I thought, if I had then I thought, what's going to happen is I'll forget I have it, and then I'll go to the airport and I'll get arrested, and it'll be a thing. And so I've been wavering back and forth on it. I'm never out alone where I feel like I need to have it out in front of me. But I think this was one of my copious panic attack moments this week.
I'm buying a stun gun.
I was laying there going, Mom should have a stun gun, because a lot of people were saying that they had their guns loaded and they were waiting for looting and all that stuff. And I go, she doesn't have anything, and I thought maybe I should get a stun gun too. So that's where it came from.
Okay,
because it's all about me, really, at the end of the day. It's all about my self-preservation. And like, we have an alarm in our house because Daryl does travel, and so it's really important. However, we've had things stolen off of our front porch.
I know, that's so freaky.
It does freak me out. And so Daryl's like, well, we should put a camera in. And I said, I almost don't want one.
Why?
Because I don't want to see.
You know what? I just told Jerry the same thing. I was like,
I don't want to see.
I said, we should get a camera. I go, and I bet you we will be shocked.
I will be terrified.
Shit we see.
I don't want to know. That's the thing. It's like, this is one of those things where I want to be like, la 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 la, I didn't see it, I don't see it.
Because I have a neighbor that hates us, and I just wonder if she does stuff when we're not there, and that's why we want to get it. Because I was like, I want to get a camera on that side of the house.
Well, that's
like, so that I could see if she ever. Like,
what would she do?
She's weird. She listens to our conversations. Like, if I have the windows open and we're having a conversation in the kitchen, I've only talked to her like 3 times, and all 3 times have been huge arguments in the front yard. And so the last 2 times I had discussions with her, and we've lived there for 4 years. She has made comments about things we talked about in private.
Do you get paranoid, like she bugged your house?
I couldn't figure out. I was like, Sue, how the hell do you know what we discussed?
God, that would drive me nuts.
I call him a dick the other day. I go, you fucking cunt. I'm like, that is so none of your business. And I'm like, and how the hell are you? She's like, well, you guys are loud. And everything inside our house.
Oh.
I'm like, yeah, I know I'm loud, but I mean, what are you standing on the
You're
fence
waiting?
listening?
She's waiting for the
totally
top.
Is.
I hate people.
So I'm like, so now all these years we've lived there, she's been single. And those last 2 times I argued with her, I was like, bitch, you need to get a boyfriend or something.
Sure. I was going to say, she needs to get laid hard.
That's what I said. I'm like, there's something seriously wrong with you.
I swear, I'd be like, you need a good dicking.
Yes.
Fuck off.
I'm sure
Seriously.
like that.
God.
So now she has a boyfriend.
Thank God. Although, is he bad too? Is he like in on it?
I don't know. No.
Thank God.
No, because at the time that these 2 arguments went on, her adult 30-plus-year-old son was living with her.
Oh,
and I think shit was
fabulous.
just like shitty over there.
Yeah.
We finally moved out, and about 3 or 4 months later, I knew she was seeing someone because he would only come at night, and we both worked for the county. So in the morning, he would be gone by like 6.
Booty call.
Right? And then a couple days would go by and we wouldn't see his truck. And
yes.
now it's turning into a consistent thing where he's literally there almost every night and every weekend.
Interesting.
And I'm like, and wouldn't you know it, we haven't heard peep from this bitch.
Oh,
and
thank God.
The that she's been seeing this.
Isn't it amazing what happens when you get your vagina, taken care of?
So
it's not that hard.
Long story short, I know this is a long story. But
no, it's not.
I was in the backyard. It was dark already. And on the side of our house where our RV access is the fence we share. Mm-hmm. And on the other side of the fence, on her side, are bedrooms, the kitchen and a bedroom.
Okay.
She never keeps the lights on. I rarely see, you cannot see inside.
Right, right.
That's fine, whatever. I didn't know if she had curtains or blinds. I don't give a shit. I'm not spying on her like she is on me.
Exactly.
But I was doing something over there. I was picking up some cans that had spilled, in the recycle bin, and one of the bedroom lights was on, and I never see it on. And because it's summer, the wood contracts in so you can see through the cracks sometimes better than others. Yes, so I could really see through good. And I just glanced up with my eyes. I wasn't like going like this on the fence.
Sure.
I could see her standing doing something in the bedroom, but she was wearing a red negligee.
Gross!
It was gross.
Oh no.
She's mom's age, by the way.
So, red doesn't look good on too many people, by the way.
The thing, I laughed and I was
pale
like,
skin and red.
Late, thank God, and I laughed and I went about my business.
Did you say something to her? Please tell me.
Well, no, I went inside and I told Jerry, I was like, Sue's wearing a red negligee. You want to go look? He's like, ew, gross, no. He's like, are you serious? I go, I swear to God, she had that bedroom light on, but she never has on. And I saw it. I go, I can't wait till the next time she says something to me. I'm going to totally be like, Sue, you look really good in that red negligee.
Oh my God.
How is she going to feel? Look, now you know how it feels, bitch, when someone's invading in your fucking privacy.
I'm so glad you saw that.
I'm
so glad you saw that.
I'm just holding it like a little treasure.
Just got it in your holster, ready to do it.
She'll be like, how did you know I had a red negligee on? How'd you know I called my husband a dick? Fuck you.
God, I hate people.
Oh, I hate people.
Does she work in your, division or anything?
Yes. Social workers.
Oh, she's a social worker?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Please.
If I had a job like that, I would literally be in therapy to expel the hate I have for people.
Right.
So that I don't take it out on everyone else.
Yeah. She's the one that told me my son was special needs.
Did you
know your son's special needs?
Oh.
Like, how the fuck do you know? She's like, well, that's what I do for a living. I'm like, you know what? If I hit you, it's elder abuse.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm so close to hitting you. I'm like,
You need to step back.
I had to. Yeah.
You intrusive cunt.
Oh, I hate her.
Those are the people who deserve to be called that, by the way.
Right.
For real.
I reserve that word for a few.
Yeah, I don't use it sparingly, but I definitely No, I don't go around saying it to people, but I certainly have no problem calling someone that. Man or woman, I don't care. Or I'll call you a twat.
I hate that
People
word.
hate it. It's the worst. It's like moist.
I was just gonna say that. I was totally gonna say that.
Yes.
I know everybody has those discussions about words you hate.
Whenever I say something, I love to shock Daryl. It's like my favorite thing to do. So
you can still shock him after all this time.
Oh yeah, because he never knows what I'm gonna say, and I'll say something like, I'm like, did you see the size of her snatch? And he'll be like, what did you say? I'm like, you heard me. He's like, who says snatch anymore? And I'm like, I do.
Well, he comes from a world of such civilized human folk at his job.
Seriously.
Everybody's
they're so, normal and professional and humane.
And he works, well, I know, does he work in the city still?
Sometimes.
Where is he today?
Seattle.
Oh.
He
whatever,
goes,
snob.
Yeah, exactly. No, he hates it, actually.
He's traveling?
Well, it interferes with his downtime, so
what do you mean?
He likes working from home. He likes having his home office. He gets a lot more done. But the reason he works in a home office is because then he travels and he does all the stuff that he worked on out there.
Right.
So
right. He's West Coast, correct?
Yes.
So that's nice. I mean,
he wants me to go, and I said, yes, let's just abandon our children, and I'll just go and hang out in the hotel for 4 days. No.
Please. Well, that's how long he's gone?
Well, he'll be gone 2 this time, but he has been gone that long.
I mean, I would go on a short trip.
Yeah, but it always interferes with real life, so I just can't.
Damn children, you have to ruin everything.
Right? They do.
Fun. If I were you, I'd be like, I'm fucking going. I'll go shopping. I'm going to go eat. Whatever. I mean.
Anyway, all right, well, let's do our ugly and awkward moments of the week.
Traditional awkward moment.
All right.
But it was awkward. So I thought, I'll just use it because it's the only thing I could think of. So during all of this hurricane business.
Yes.
I don't really talk to Lauren's dad that often.
Yes.
But whenever there's crisis or...
You're on him all the time.
Huge.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't on him all the time because... Quite frankly, we could talk regularly and we would be fine.
Yeah.
His wife just cannot stand it.
She doesn't like it.
She does not like us to talk.
Understood.
So I don't like to put that on him. And
sure.
Because I can understand.
Undo
I
issues.
know how he is. I was married to the man, so I know it makes him... He hates confrontation and conflict, so I'm not going to do that.
Sure.
But this last weekend, with everything going on, it finally push came to shove where I'm like, you know what? I just need to hear it from the horse's mouth that he knows what's going on, that he has a plan, and that my daughter's included in whatever that is.
Right.
So I finally reached out to him and texted him, and he actually wrote me back, and he said that he was going to call me, which I thought was weird because we haven't talked on the phone. We literally have not spoken in like 2 years.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So he did call me, and I was trying to figure out how he was going to.
How's it going to go?
Well, I knew the conversation would be fine because him and I are fine.
Yeah.
Talk. But I was trying to figure. What I was trying to figure out was I can talk to him in front of my husband or
whoever, but he can't talk to.
But I was wondering if he was just actually going to call me or if he was going to have to like escape.
Go into his desk, into his office.
So he had escaped.
He went to the bowels of his house.
No, he left. He was actually going to. He had an errand to go run that required him to be alone.
Oh.
And so that's when he chose to call me.
Okay.
And that's totally fine, but it did inside made me chuckle.
Well, it just gives you an insight on certain relationships when that happens.
Yeah, and I would never want someone to turn the judgy eye on my relationship.
No, but we know these people. We know Joel. You know Joel better than I do, but I also know that there is no way in hell that Daryl leaves this house to call someone.
Right.
Like, fuck no.
But the only reason why
he can talk to anybody he wants.
But see, the thing, right. And the thing about Joel is like, it's innocent. He's not doing anything.
He's not even a bad guy.
We're not even talking about anything that I
other than your daughter
in front of my husband.
But he doesn't want to deal with the interrogation that follows.
And that sucks.
It does suck.
It sucks that his wife doesn't think that he can have a conversation with the mother of his child.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
That is shady.
That's kind of what
bullshit.
I'm thinking.
But at the same time, I'm like, you know what, dude? I care about you and I love our daughter and everything, but you know what? That's on you. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it has nothing to do with you.
Relationship because whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wasn't really sure
how it was going to go.
I knew that I was just gonna. I'm like, you know what? I don't get anxiety when I talk to him. But when I answered the phone, he was like weird, Joel.
Oh no.
He was all weirded out.
Oh no.
He sounded frantic.
He's like, hello.
Exactly. He had like a Scooby-Doo voice. And I don't know why.
Hello, Sandy.
It's me.
You're like, what are you doing?
We've known each other since we were children. Like,
yeah,
I don't understand.
You were literally 15.
Yeah, so I don't know if maybe it was the build-up to the call.
Perhaps. Just all the negotiations he had to, all the manipulation and all the plans he had to make.
Pressure, yeah, like whatever. But he was weird, and it did make me laugh. And it was... So I let him off the hook early. We only talked for like 4 or 5 minutes, and then I think his wife was calling because he's like, "Oh shit!" He's like, "You know what? Can I call you Rebecca?" I was like, "No worries. You don't have to call me back." Because I didn't want him to feel like obligated. Like we didn't talk that long. Do I have to call you back?
Right.
No, you don't have to call me back. Right. It's fine. And that was that. And we hung up. But it was funny. I laughed, and I'm like, okay, that was the weirdest conversation I've ever had with Joel in my life, and I don't understand why he's being so weird. But
that is weird.
I don't know. It was awkward.
Really awkward.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always one of those things too where you're just like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that?
I was.
And he's like, "What? I'm fine.
What are they going? Yeah,
I'm all right. What's going on?" You know how he turns to Kermit.
Well, the conversation started. I was like, I looked and I saw it was him, and I was like, "Hey," and you're like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "Hello." I can't remember exactly what he said. I'm like, "How's it going?" He's like, "Kick ass."
Oh my God. What are you, high?
What are you, 18?
What's going on?
Yes.
Weirdo.
So strange.
That's so funny.
So I started laughing and I'm like, okay, this is how we're going to go. Fine.
Mine is awkward. Luckily, I didn't include anyone in my awkwardness, which is an automatic win usually.
Right.
As you know, for the last 24 hours, I'm fairly certain that I'm dying.
Right.
My anxiety is out the door and my guts are acting strange. So therefore, after hours of Googling...
You have cancer?
I don't. It's not my appendix or my gallbladder or my liver, but it's in all likelihood my spleen or my pancreas is probably exploding as we speak.
Exploding.
Aside from the
I didn't know they spontaneously combusted.
Yeah, aside from the horrific death that I'm sure to have today, I slept like shit because I'm sure that I'm going to wake up and feel horrible. So I woke up and I put on clothes because I had to take Malia to school today. Daryl left at the crack like 4 o'clock this morning. Yeah. And so I take Malia to school. So I put on a bunch of clothes and every single item was inside out. And I'm walking around.
Oh, you went?
Almost. I walked in and I'm like, what is the seam on my pants? And I looked down and I was like, oh my God, everything's inside out.
Is it dark?
No.
Okay.
No. Just my usual foolishness.
Well, that is awkward.
But that's what you get for not folding your laundry and putting it away like an adult.
I never do. We have the laundry couch too.
I have a sea of clothes out there right now. I don't even want to deal with it.
And then I always blame Jerry, even though it's really my fault. I'm like, why do you wash clothes and then just pile them up on the couch? Why? If you're going to wash them, fold them.
Because yeah, exactly. Isn't it funny how all men talk like that when we talk about them?
Monotone.
When I say something to Daryl, I'll be like, "Yeah, you always do this. Oh, it's gonna do it in a minute." He's like, "I do not sound like that. Why do you make me sound like that?" I'm like, "Because you do sound like that."
Yeah,
it's insane.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel some days I feel sorry for Jerry, and then most days I feel sorry for me. But
I said something to Daryl yesterday. I said, I actually have pity for you. He goes, why? I go, because you never know what I'm going to say. He goes, I am always prepared. I never let my guard down with you. I'm like, oh, I've seen you.
Always prepared?
Yeah, because for whatever I'm planning on unleashing at any moment. He goes, I don't ever let my guard down. I never know what you're going to do.
Well, what is so terrible that he's so frightened?
It's not frightened.
It's
just...
Be a flap.
How dare you?
Stop sounding so frightened when you see Emma. I'm not frightened.
No, he's not afraid of me at all, actually.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. He's more...
not afraid of you, like, physically, but he's afraid of what, you know.
He's just... He finds it exciting. I think he's a masochist, personally, but he doesn't... He likes the fact that he never knows what I'm going to say.
Well, that's true. That is definitely a good part of your personality.
Yeah.
But I maybe your relationship has changed over the years. But I do remember a fair amount of time where he was making sure that he wasn't fucking up.
Oh yeah, he doesn't worry. No, it's not like that anymore. No, we're much more relaxed. Yeah, we're much more relaxed. We hardly ever fight.
That is so weird.
We used
no, not weird for you guys.
No.
I just don't know a lot of people who get to enjoy that.
Well, our fights are really the same.
When people tell me that, I never believe them. I'm like, you're a liar.
That you don't fight?
I can't tell you the last time we fought.
No, I can. I can tell you. In fact, it was something really fucking dumb, and that's the thing. That's the thing.
Well, thank God.
It's always something stupid, you know.
That just gets under your skin.
Yeah, or then I'll bring up.
Shit.
Yeah,
that's me.
I do that all the time.
I can't forget.
Or if
I have PTSD from some of the things Jerry said to me.
I know.
Like, not even the worst things that you're thinking of. Other things.
Just relationship things.
Yeah. That I will never forget. I hate that about me.
Relationships suck. But you know what? The thing is, I was telling Daryl this the other day. It's so weird. I can't think of one relationship that I am not in, that I was in and then it ended. I can't think of one where I literally cried. I didn't cry. I was not heartbroken about it. I'm like, all right, later, and moved on. Now, obviously, when Daryl and I were going through our really rough patch, I was crying all the time.
Yeah.
But before that...
And that means you didn't care about the other people.
No, I didn't. Not at all.
Yeah, because I only had 2 relationships that I really can acknowledge. Well, 3 if you count high school, but...
Yeah, well, we all have that one. Actually, okay, I take that back. I did. Although the second time when my high school boyfriend tried to get back with me when he was in college, I literally felt dead. I felt dead inside. I'm like, there's nothing. You could be anyone. Bye.
Yeah.
And it was surprising.
Because you were already done with it.
It was just so surprising, but I like that about myself, personally.
Yeah, I wish I would like that.
All right, well, that's the show. We blew through an hour like nothing.
Yeah.
So... Thank you, Ugg, for sitting in. So I think we've resolved that I'll be dead by dessert, and I'm getting a stun gun or I'm not. And you're going to viciously attack verbally your neighbor with the red negligee discovery upon the next interaction.
I will have my moment eventually.
Thank goodness. And our families are safe, and I'm going to blame Mother for my hospitalization.
Right?
God, I'm so mad at her for not leaving. But
well, I will say
it's fine.
It's fine.
It all worked out.
During the crises.
Yes.
We talked to cousins we never talked to.
I know.
So that was one of the good things.
The good thing is, it's good to know that no matter what, the four of us are like thick as thieves.
True.
Like, we did not let each other down at all. We were there.
Even Allison.
I know.
I mean, even though she still annoys me.
She disengages, but...
Well, I think it's because she knows, like, you and I are in our operas.
Yes.
We're like,
we were completely in control. We're like,
yes.
Allison, no Airbnb!
Me and you are the pilot and the co-pilot.
So
and
true.
Paula and Allison are the flight attendants.
God,
like,
it's so
we'll tell you what the plan is, and you will follow through.
That's correct.
Yeah, so...
Paula loves throwing money. It's a problem. It's her favorite thing.
I know. And you know what? I hated that I was an asshole during that period of time when she was trying to be helpful, and I was just being a jerk.
Oh, well, we all go through our phases. Doesn't
I felt
matter.
immediately bad, and
It's fine.
the thing about Paula is that she is like Ice Princess.
Yes.
She forgets nothing.
Nope.
And she may not have a reaction
No, it's true.
at that moment.
But she'll file it away.
Oh, yeah. So it's not like I got away with it.
No, it's true.
Right now.
It's true.
She'll probably not talk to me for 6 months now, but...
No, she'll be fine. She's fine.
Yeah.
I know Mom's always like, what's wrong with her? I'm like, she's crazy, Mother. God, can you just deal with it?
So is Mom.
We're all
crazy. We just have a
nuts.
different variable.
Yes. So anyway, well, thank you for sitting in, Ugg. It was very fun.
me.
You have to come back, on a more it's hard. I know.
so hard.
You have a baby, basically. You have a young one.
I have a bean sprout, and
He is a little
I have
bean sprout.
a freaking job, and yeah.
Well, it's just when you have, especially when they're getting into kindergarten, it's like impossibly
It is
difficult.
probably, I know. I didn't think there would be a bad time until he got older, and then I'm like, why did I forget about kindergarten?
It's a pain in the
It
ass.
sucks. It's not even that. Yeah, I mean, it's not the inconvenience. It is, but
It's inconvenient.
We got him somewhere to be, like where we're working, but it's just so anxiety ridden.
It is.
Like separation anxiety
Yeah.
for everybody, and sleeping habits, and
All of it sucks. It really sucks. So anyway, but when you have an opportunity, you'll have to come back.
Absolutely.
Hopefully not in a year like normal, but in a year.
It hasn't been a year, has
It's
it?
been almost a year.
God.
I know.
I thought it was up in your room just not that long ago.
Maybe I'm forgetting. It's possible.
I mean, maybe 6 months.
Okay, 6 months. All right, Ugg. Say goodbye to everybody.
I forgot. Do we do it in a certain way?
What? No, just like bye.
Oh. Let's gotta say something more profound than that.
Well, you do it.
No!
I'm Veronica Corningstone.
Who's that?
Anchorman.
I don't watch that show.
It's a movie.
I don't watch slapstick comedy, period.
What?
Because it's dumb.
Okay,
And you've always
Anchorman.
watched it.
Anchorman is not dumb.
Yes, it is.
I am Ron Burgundy. Thanks for stopping by.
All right, bye everyone!
That's a wrap. But make sure to watch your podcast feed for all the screw-ups and edits from this episode and what we call Uglee Cuts. And then we'll have a brand new full episode for you next week. Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.